Welcome to our fourth set of TiaChi4. Once you have learned the first set, second set, and third set, now we proceed into the final set. The final set probably is the longest one of all, and yet it is because there are many repeated movements in it. And as you see the repeated movement, we will just move right along because you have learned these basic moves from the previous sets. We will bring out the unique movements that are contained in the fourth set. The last movement of the third set, if you remember, is the cross hands. Therefore now we start from a cross hand and move into the fourth set. Watch the first few movements. The very few movements of the fourth set is identical to the beginning portion of the second set. The whole name of this movement is called Carry Tiger to the Mountain. At the end of this push movement, we move into a single whip posture because we start from the diagonal position. So when we finish the movement, the single whip is the diagonal direction here. Therefore, we call this movement the diagonal single whip. It's no different than the other single whip movement. Now let's move on right now. The next few movements is called parting the wild horse's mane. This movement is very similar to the fly diagonal, except it has both the left side and the right side. So now we'll start from the diagonal single whip and proceed to the next two movements. Let's start from here now, moving to the parting the wild horses right and parting the wild horses left. Follow with another identical movement, parting the wild horses right. Notice this movement is rooted from the foot, developed through the legs, controlled by the waist, expressed through the fingers. The principle of TiaChi4 fully manifests through this movement. So when you do the movement, remember, stop thinking about feet first, joint by joint, cascading upward. Feet, knee, hip, spine, shoulder, elbow, and hands. Settle down. From here, we move back to the movement that you're familiar with. Namely, stroke the peacock's tail. And move on. To ward off, pull back, press, push, and single whip. These are very familiar moves to you right now. Next four movements are very uniquely the fourth set. Name of these movements are called Fair Lady Working at the Shuttle. The beautiful lady working at a shuttle. Sometimes they translate the beautiful lady combing her hair. Well, the whole idea of a shuttle is actually, if you ever see a weaving machine, the spindle moving shuttling back and forth in such rapid speed. So the fair lady shuttle, as she's combing the hair and also sending the hands out there as fast as a shuttle, spin, like a spindle right there. Okay, this movement has 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as you start from a single whip posture, remember, the very first movement starts from your right hook hand. And then, next one, next one, next one in a counterclockwise sequence. Let me go through the whole 4 movement in its entirety and let you look the relationship. And basically, is involved the movement is bow and arrow stance, right in the front, using the leg, hip, and shuttling forward motion. Or the left forward, left hand redirecting energy, right hand shuttling forward. Basically only the left foot in the front or right foot in the front. Now, these movements are in a diagonal corner, therefore sometimes they call them the diagonal 4-corner movements. Let's see the whole 4 movement in its entirety. Let's see the 4 movement in its entire sequence. You may see the 4 movement, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The footwork is a bow and arrow stance, which means the front foot is pointing to front, the rear foot is 45 degrees with reference to the front foot. Now, if I'm facing this direction first, you can see that if the front foot is 45 degrees, the rear foot is pointing to the north, east, west, south direction here. So you can really give a real good reference as to what the foot position should be. Should be directly parallel and vertical position there. So this will be the first one. Next one here coming would be the foot will point this direction to get that angle there. Finally, get the right foot in position to the angle here. And then last one, adjust a turning until this foot is pointing to the right direction there, and then finish the motion. Okay, it's all movement from a leg, hip, and face the front. Watch the shoulder, don't push too far out, should be settled down. Shoulder, hip, same plane. Let's see the movement again. Please do it with me, all right? Shift weight, turn body, shift weight back to the left foot, turn hip, landing softly, place the foot correctly now. All right, shift weight balance on the right foot, step slowly with the left foot, 45-degree angle, and shuttle, 1. Next one, turn right foot out a little bit, shift weight back, turn hip, turn left foot as far as you can. Shift weight back, balance it, bring right foot behind the heel, and stepping out. Transfer weight forward. Adjust the rear foot so that's become bow and arrow stance. Shift weight back, turn hip, turn right hand, shift weight back, step, shuttle number 3. And the this motion, transfer weight forward, bring the right foot behind, balance on right foot on the heel, on the ball of foot, turn, settle down, step right foot, transfer weight forward. This right hand coming forward here, as you turn the hip, turn the upper hand rolling backwards, and we call them beautiful lady looking at the mirror. It's always a ward-off hand. Don't get yourself too close with right 90-degree angle. Round it, because if it's rounded, there's a lot of power there. If anytime 90-degree angle, become very, very weak. Anytime you push it, bends it. If it's round, circular consciousness, you can do all you want. Lots of power there. In reality, this movement is for the application. So in our application portion, you can see how important this front hand is to redirect the energy of some attack and then counter with the other hand. After we finish the fairly shuttle in this direction, we're going to go back to the front, stroke the peacock's tail left that you already learned, and then get to the stroke peacock's right, which is a ward off, the pull back, press and push, single whip. You know already all these movements. Cloud hands again, 3 cloud hands, and end with a single whip. These are the movements already very familiar to you from what you have learned in the first set and second set. So now, if you please, do these movements with me. Starting from the last fair lady of the shuttle. Three cloud hands. Remember how we count them? Feet together, 1. 2. 3, right foot in position for single whip, change to hook hand, and the good single whip stance. After the single whip movement now, we have the new movement coming, which is uniquely the 4th set. The name of the movement is called snake creeping down, which leads into a movement called golden cock stand on one leg, which in this case, right, balance the left foot first, and then on the right foot. Let's see how these movements are done. But one thing about a snake creeping down, be sure to keep the body still straight. All right? Now we'll do the movement. Watch. I don't care how flexible you are, you can do this movement. Don't lean the body forward. This movement, you can, if you are only able to do this one, fine. You can do more, fine. But notice my body is always straight. Do not try to lean forward. This motion here, notice my hand. As soon as I start a motion, the front foot push, the rear foot turning back 45 degrees, shift weight back by propelling the body back by the front foot. The right front hand, relax, pointing to the front. I want like a very U shape, going down and coming forward. The footwork is very important. As you're going forward, you turn, I'll count 1, turn the left foot, turn the body halfway, 2, transfer it forward, turn the right foot, face the front, until you reach this position where you'll be able to go to the movement coming upward. All right, if you're in the side position, you will lose your balance. I'll count the numbers now, if you will. Begin. 1, right foot back. 2, going down. 3, come forward. Now, left foot. out. Right foot in, body face the front, transfer forward, balance it, and coming slowly up. Gently lower the right foot down, toe, bottom foot, balance it, and now turn the body, raise right, left hand, left foot, right hand down. Body relaxed. The motion of movement, do not use this movement, it's a hip movement. Okay, golden cock stand on one leg, your knee may straighten out a little bit, very upright posture, very alert posture. This way, same way, very alert, very straight posture. After the two golden cock stand on one leg, now we're going to go back to the movement that you learned in the second set. Remember the repulsed monkey? 3 repulsed monkey, flying diagonally, lifting arms to the front, wide crane spreads wings, brush the left knee, yes, knee to C bottom, open hands like fan, and turn backward fists. This whole second movement is now repeated in the fourth set. So would you, since you already done that, how about do it with me now? Starting from the golden cock, stand on one leg. Now, the next movement is interesting. You remember in the second set, we have a strike, parry, raking back, strike, parry, and a punch. This movement is exactly the same with one minor variation. It is that after you strike, you release the fist into a palm, you thrusting forward with the palm. This motion resembles a snake stick its tongue. So the name of this motion, very similar except opening palms. Once you finish this stick its tongue, you fold the hands together into fist and complete the remaining movement. So very similar movement because of opening palm, thrusting with the fingers, called white snake stick its tongue. So we'll start right from here and follow me with the movement. Now release the fist. Turn palms, thrusting forward, about halfway, shift way back, change back to the fist. Okay, conscious of hip turning, slowly, slowly, landing, strike, parry, and punch. Continue the transitional movement that you have learned, leading back into the ward off. Pull back, press, push. And single whip. Comes the cloud hands again, 3 times. Watch your eyes. Follow the upper hand. Shifting, 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 rotating the arm. Step. Looking the upper hands. Feet together. Step. Feet together. Number 2. Feet apart. 3, right foot in position for single whip. Change to hook hand, step, and single whip. Watch my next movement. It looks very familiar to you. However, there's a little added touch to it. High pet the horse that you're familiar with in the third set. Step. This is called high pet the horse, left hand thrusting forward. This has become one motion. All right, so high pet the horse, which you know about it, shift way back, hands by the ear, turn hip, face in the front. Now you step from the narrow stance to the bow narrow stance, left hand trapping down, left hand thrusting forward. As you go forward, you again turning the hip. So the left hand is thrusting forward this one. The hand should be right facing the front. If I'm facing you, it'll be looks like this. Notice I'm still looking ahead at you. My fingertips line with the line of sight of my eyes. My energy, my thinking is all on the fingertips at this point. Name of this motion, again, high pet the horse, left hand thrusting forward. After this movement here, again we're turning back, ready for the heel kick. I'm going to mention, anytime you do the kick, be sure you turn the hip, get the foot into 45-degree angle, settle down, and then you kick. If you place the foot less than 45-degree angle, you may find out yourself problem balancing yourself. So be sure, as you shift way back, first transfer to the rear foot, and then turn the hip. Notice the foot follows along very naturally. Do not do the foot alone. That's not in Tai Chi. Tai Chi always allow the hip or waist area control the movement. Let's see how this movement goes. It's called turn back after the left hand thrusting forward. It's called turn back, cross hand, and right heel kick. Now we'll do the high pet the horse. Left hand thrusting forward. Turn back, cross hands, and the left heel kick. After this heel kick, next movement is called stepping forward and a low punch to the front. So it's a little different than the planting fist, which you plant the fist 45-degree to the front. This time you block something and strike in the front as the groin level usually. Face the front, center of gravity still within your footwork. Because it's a much lower stance, therefore your width, your stance may be a little wider to get the accommodating the low position and feel yourself sinking down comfortable in the crouch area. Eyes looking forward with lots of spirit. Your fist should have awareness in there. After this movement, we go right back into the ward-off, pull back, press and push, and the single whip, which you're familiar with, except we take off in a much lower stance. In addition, while we do the ward-off, we have one extra movement called follow with the left foot, and then step the right foot forward again. Okay, there's a little extra variation to gain distance, if you will. So let's see how this was done. From the low punch, we still shift weight, turn hip, turn left foot, left hand, transfer weight forward, balance it, in much lower stance now you see, transfer weight forward, transfer all the way forward, left foot, lifting off, planting. Now step the right foot forward again and complete a movement. And single whip again. From the single whip posture, now we move into the final snake creeping down, moving towards step up with 7-star punch. After that, we have movement called step back to mount the tiger. I want you to see first in this direction, the normal direction, and then later on, I'll do it facing you. The step back to mount the tiger is look very much like the white crane spread its wings, except there's one difference. The white crane is more up and down movement, the arm. The step back to mount the tiger, arms are roughly 45-degree angle, more circular, as if they step back to mount the tiger. All right, as you come forward, snake creeping down, again, keep the body straight, moving back and forward. Don't get too anxious to go down if you don't have the flexibility. If you can go halfway, that's fine. Slowly, slowly working down. Now the movement again, first the right foot going back, so therefore the knee goes back. As you come forward, the rear foot push. Now, first you do is turn the hip, move the left foot 45 degree, transfer it more, turn the right foot inward, thereby face the front now, and then you step with 7-star punch. The left hand is a ward-off motion with holding the fist. The right hand motion is follow the right foot together, controlled by the waist, coming up like an uppercut. They're all together. Do not come 1 and 2. They're all together. Let's do this motion facing the front to the camera. Left foot out, right foot in, and together. Start. Step back, you shift weight, body turns side to right. Now, face the front, arms swing out. Step back to mount the tiger. After the step back to mount the tiger, now you have a turning around, around 360-degree turnaround, leading to a movement called sweeping the lotus kick, double lotus kick. All right? Let me illustrate the movement facing the camera. You can see what it looks like. I start from here. The foot is moving in a clockwise direction while your hands is moving in a counterclockwise direction. They intercept each other right in the middle. Did you hear 2 sounds? That's what they call double lotus kick. Now where are you hitting at? You're hitting at a small portion, the little toe area, not the edge of a foot. Otherwise you cut your hands and you hurt yourself. So the foot, this is a third type of kick in Tai Chi. It's called the sort of inverted hook kick, circular kick motion. The foot is not this way, but that way. Okay? Now, one exercise I want you to do here is that, notice when I finish the kick, my knee is outside. Outside. A lot of people practice this kick where the knee is inside, thereby they have to lean the body forward and try to reach the foot. Look something like this. They'll never make it. The upper part of the body should be maintained straight, very flexible hip motion, sweeping across, the right hand move this way, and notice the hand is in circular motion down. This motion is actually turning around here, spin back in a counterclockwise circular motion. Many people, again, when they hit the foot, it shoots out there. That's not what it is. It's continuous motion downward. And I'll just go to this motion to the final movement, which is called the bend the bow to shoot the tiger, to see the continuity of movement. As we go back to step back to mount the tiger, we circle the arms a little bit. Now when I take off, I want you to think of the right hand and left foot as a takeoff point. There's no need to go back, winding backwards. No such thing happening. It's just right from this point. If you're thinking about the turning momentum, you can turn without effort. You enter this position first. The hands is parallel, start from here, running circular. Slowly, slowly, make the circle here. Reach this point, weight in the rear foot. Now, at this point, right hand goes. Both hands moving in a curved way, counterclockwise location, while the foot sweeping in a clock location. Now, here's what it looks like. Bend the bow to shoot the tiger. These movements, it takes a little practice. Keep the body straight is key to the balancing, spinning around. If you're looking down, you wind up lose your balance. As you do the movement, and learn this spinning, which is about 360 degrees. Try to do it right now, not worry about where you're going to land. Just develop enough momentum. The right hand, the left foot, also the whole body, and your mind wants to turn. Don't think passively, only thinking about hand and foot. So if your mind is willing, the body goes. Do not need to winding backwards. All right? We'll do this motion one more time. Step back to Mountain Tiger from here. Spin around, double lotus kick, and bend the bow to shoot the tiger. On this double lotus kick, in order to do correctly, as you know, there's only one, you only do once in a whole set. The common thing, by the time you finish the motion, you lose your balance. So the training I like to do is that you maintain balance to this foot and making this motion over and over. First, you maybe practice your arms in a clockwise position so that you maintain the circular movement. And then you practice the right foot. Don't finish and dropping. See if you can challenge you to balance on this foot and go a couple of times. And now once you got that, try to do those motions, slapping the foot about 3 or 4 times, like this. Develop stamina so that when you do one, you can be very sure of it. All right? Now let's do that in the normal direction that you will see. We'll go through the same movement from single whip, snake creeping down, leading to 7-star punch, step back to mount the tiger, turn around, double lotus kick, end it with a movement called bend the bow to shoot the tiger. Now let's do the whole sequence. The bend the bow to shoot the tiger is involve a circular motion, holding fist, and then facing the direction that you are, and turn. You only immediately turn your head, and both fists. One is a mid-range, one is about head range, striking out simultaneously. And so the motion is circular. Turn the head, follow the fist all the way to the front. Bend the bow to shoot the tiger, looking at the front fist. Now we'll continue this motion from this angle and see what the remaining movement contains. The last few movements are exactly the same as you did on the end of a third set. Identical movement, stepping forward, strike, parry, and punch, withdraw and push, cross hands to the front. Now when you finish the set, at that point, your breathing may not be really very smooth. So what you do is at the end of motion here, you gently settling down, come to stillness. Now stay in that posture, elbows still slightly bent, wrist bent, fingers point to front, and concentrate on your breathing. Make it very smooth, in and out, as many times as needed until you feel your breath become very calm. Your body's been moving all along, and all of a sudden you come to stillness. You will find out that chi, the energy, begins pushing through the fingertips, give a real tingling feeling of that position. That's a very enjoyable feeling there. You come to the end of the set again, and now you, once the breath is calm, you move the hands down. I'd like to congratulate you to follow with me along through the whole entire set. Now if you're looking back, you will realize the fourth set has most movements, many movements. Yet, don't be alarmed. The fourth set are rather easy to learn because there are many repeated movement, chunk movement inserted into it. So there is some memory work involved to go through the set without any interruption. So the transitional part, the linkage part, must be thoroughly familiarized so that it can go from beginning to the end without any interruption. Not only the movement, interruption of movement, but also in your mind. So sometimes it pays to do a mental gymnastics. What by that I mean, mentally go through these name of movement and visualize those movements in your mind. Now I'd like to have you do with me the entire fourth set.